Hey folks, we're back with another Pokemon X and Y Gen 6 Wi-Fi battle. Today's battle is against a friend of mine, and this happened a while ago, though I should have had this uploaded sooner. I'm up against SLOPlays, links in the description, and this guy is a powerhouse. And you're about to see what I mean for this battle. I am not kidding. This was not only one of the longest battles I've ever had, but also one of the toughest. So let's get started. He starts off with Zol or Uniclus. I start off with my Greninja, and right off the bat, he makes a switch, and a pretty smart switch at that. And he sends in Huevas, the Blissey. I think Huevas means Spanish for eggs. So I go for a Dark Pulse, and that doesn't really work. Its special defense is just that high. So I have to think to myself, I need to make a switch and fast. So I send in my Ferrothorn. Perfectly useful and acceptable for a counter. And that's when the trouble begins. He pulls a Thunder Wave on my Ferrothorn, which makes it ridiculously slow. But at the same time, it also makes it ridiculously powerful with Gyro Ball, because if your Pokemon like Ferrothorn is slower, then it can dish out more damage. And he brings in Petey, the Mawile, and I just go right away for the rocks. I just want to set up entry hazards first before I can strike back hard. And now his Mawilite is about to react, and he Mega Evolves into a Mega Mawile. And this is where the troubles begin. I already said that already, but I really am not kidding. This guy actually put up a hell of a fight. Even more so than Magma Pulse did. So, he actually has a stockpile set up, stockpiled 1, but now he's actually going to go stockpile 2 again. I just want to set up a Gyro Ball so that way I can dish out a lot of damage to it, because since I'm slower, I can be able to do that. And I'm able to do so. I get the Gyro Ball in, but the Gyro Ball doesn't do that much damage. And now he's already stockpiled to the max at 3. With 3 max, he has plus 2.5 defense and special defense. Unfortunately, the Para Axe kicks in and I don't get another attack. He now decides to unleash a Baton Pass, and that Baton Pass is going to end up helping him in the long run. Why I say that? This is why. He sends in Mothula, I believe the Volcarona. Though to be fair, I would have preferred having him say Mothra, because it actually does remind me of Mothra. I need to make a switch because I don't want to get whacked by anything that's fire-based, and I send in my Chansey, and personally, I should have not done that. I should have just went instead for like a fire-based attack or something, and with the Quiver Dance, now he has plus 1 special attack, plus 1 speed, and I believe plus 2.5 defense and plus 3.5 special defense. Oh my god, this is going to be very bad. So I just decided to just go for a Seismic Toss, and the Seismic Toss does 50 damage. Good thing too. I'm actually surviving most of his attacks, since despite having high attack, it's not going to do much. And fortunately, I'm going to deliver another Seismic Toss in that Mothula. I have to watch out though, because that Mothula has Flame Body, and Flame Body will automatically burn me if I make direct contact. He makes a switch, and he sends in Huevas, the Blissey, Spanish for eggs. So, believe it or not, we just have to keep on going. I go for another Seismic Toss, which personally was a bad idea. It was a bad idea because he has the Rocky Helmet. And this is where I actually have to be smart with this. I really have to be smart, so he actually goes for a softball, and that gets him back to full health, and I'm thinking this is bad. I'm going to have to stall it out, so I go for a Toxic, and the Toxic delivers. Now, all I have to do now is just wait it out, heal up, and do my job. Since he switched, all the damage thing has been reset, so I'm back the way I was. And he goes actually for a Toxic of his own and fails, and that was kind of hilarious. So this gave me an opportunity to set up Soft-Boiled, and I'm back at full health. Now all I have to do now is just stall out for a couple of turns and see what happens. So he instead goes through a hip aromatherapy. That's actually pretty smart. I've never seen him pull that off, and now he's actually cured of poison. But that doesn't make a difference because I go for a Seismic Toss and take advantage of it. Though I'm going to have to stall it out once again with poison. Although I do get hit by the Rocky Helmet. He goes with a Toxic this time, and it actually connects. I'm just thinking I need to set up Toxic myself. I'm not worried one bit because Natural Cure will basically heal my Chansey instantly. But instead I go for another Seismic Toss, and that does another 50 damage. That, and I'm suffering more damage every turn due to Rocky Helmet. Plus poison damage. Very disadvantageous in my mind, and I'm not liking it at all. So I have to make a switch. I send in my Arcanine, a Pokemon that has never let me down. Ever. And he goes for the soft-boiled, and the soft-boiled, believe it or not, does like, how do I put this, like a lot? Heals up a lot. He really does heal up a lot. So right now, I have to strike hard and fast. So he makes a switch, and he actually sends in Floppy, the Azumarill. And I was actually going to go for the close combat, in which I do that, but personally, it was a pretty bad idea, because close combat doesn't really do much for this guy. Yeah, because Azumarill is part Fairy type, that means the damage is a bit less. If it was any previous other generation, it would have done normal. So I needed to make a switch, because I don't want to get hit by like a water-based attack. So I send in now my Ferrothorn with Parahax and everything, and he actually does go for the superpower. I didn't really see this coming, I really didn't. And the superpower does hit, but he also suffers an attack and a defense drop. But sadly, he suffers recoil damage from Iron Barbs and the Rocky Helmet. Unfortunately, I did not see this coming. He actually had a Citrus Berry packed in just to be safe. But despite that, he does suffer damage from Rocky Helmet, and he actually makes a switch, so this at least gives me a free turn, but I don't know if that's going to last. So he now sends in Gyromite, the Fortress. Oh my god, Gyromite? Seriously? I'm thinking, his nicknaming is actually pretty interesting. I go for a Gyro Ball, and it wasn't that effective. Though, however, this is where things start getting a bit tougher now. Since he has a Fortress, he pulls off a Rapid Spin that doesn't really do much, but it blows away my hazards completely. It isn't very effective. However, he does suffer from Iron Barbs and the Rocky Helmet. I'm going to keep saying that over and over anytime someone goes up with a Ferrothorn. But sadly, now that the rocks are out of there, that means I don't have the advantage. But I'm actually now setting up Leech Seed. I actually set up Leech Seed, and I'm able to heal up. I'm going to have to do anything and everything I can to at least fight back, because right now, I'm at a serious disadvantage. And this battle, believe it or not, is actually a really long battle. It's rare that you're up against an opponent that actually does put up a heck of a fight, and this is it. He goes for the Earthquake, and the Earthquake only does 30 damage, but I set up the Stealth Rocks finally. Now I'm able to, like, strike back. And despite the fact that he's, like, recovering health, I'm actually recovering health thanks to the Leech Seed, which I need any and all help I can get at this point. I'm at the point where I just want to strike hard and strike fast, but how can I when my opponent puts me in a position that I can't do anything? And he also sets up Stealth Rock. This makes the situation even worse. And I get the Parahax, which means my move doesn't connect at all. Not that it matters, since I'm going to get more health either way. He's just going to keep on setting up hazards that's going to put me at a disadvantage, but puts him at an advantage as well. Judging by the looks of his team, I have to say that his team is actually pretty interesting. I really do mean that. He goes for a Rapid Spin, and that blows away the hazards, but I only suffer 3 health, and he suffers recoil damage. Though I don't know if it would kill it, unfortunately it did not. Though, even though he was freed from Leech Seed and the rocks, I just simply set up spikes because I need to set up something. Anything just to give me an advantage. And without Leech Seed, I can't heal up. So I'm going to have to be cautious, and I'm going to tread carefully. So he actually switches, and I think I know just who to switch it to. He actually sends in PD, which is the Mega Mawile. And I don't know if I'm going to survive whatever he brings out. I get another Parahax, and that was just bad. Real bad. I needed to get out of there, so I had to make a switch. And I sent in my Chansey, hoping to withstand anything he brings out, and I suffered damage due to Stealth Rocks. Now he starts setting up the stockpile yet again. I needed to at least do something just to shut him down, anything, because unless I do something fast, I'm in serious trouble. He goes for the I go for the Thunder Wave, and the Thunder Wave paralyzes the Mega Mawile, slowing him down. I'm at least relieved that it happened, but he actually instead goes for an Iron Head, and the Iron Head takes down my Chansey. Yeah, that was a bad move. I should have went for Soft-Boiled instead. So I now go into my Ferrothorn, and I'm basically yelling at myself, I have to do something and fast. I have to. And now he's going to be setting up stockpiles again and again just to have a bigger advantage. That and a boosted defense. Even though I am slow, that doesn't make much difference. I go in for the Stealth Rocks, and the Stealth Rocks already set up. I have 1 layer of Stealth Rock. 1 layer of spikes. I'm not worried one bit. I just want to at least do something so I can at least beat this guy. But sadly, it doesn't happen because he now sends in another Pokemon, Zol, the Reuniclus. And that doesn't work. And I know for a fact this thing has Magic Guard. He now sets up the Reflect, which boosts up this defense up, like slightly. Just slightly for a couple of turns. And now I get the Leech Seed, but that proves out to be a big mistake. I should have went for Spikes instead because that Reuniclus has Magic Guard, which means it's not going to suffer damage from anything outside of like special contact. You can't suffer damage from Leaf Seed, Sandstorm, and Hail. That and the thing is a beast. He goes for a Psychic attack, and the Psychic attack doesn't do much. It only does 30 damage. I get the Parallax once again, and my luck keeps getting worse and worse every day. Every second, to be specific. He goes for another Psychic attack, and I'm now down to 9 health, and I also another Parallax. 2 in a row. I'm starting to, like, swear out in anger. I wanted to swear all sorts of nasty words, but in a battle like this, it's just too much. He takes out my Ferrothorn with 3 Psychic attacks, and I'm already in trouble. Though the good thing is his Reflect has worn off. So I go into my Electivire hoping to do damage, but I don't think I'm going to do much. So I go for a Brick Break, which personally was a good idea, but sadly it wasn't. It really wasn't a good idea because Brick Break, though, has a secondary purpose which destroys Reflex and Light Screen. I should have went instead for a Thunder Punch. I was able to actually survive a Stab Psychic attack. That, and he also has Shell Bell, so, I'm already alright here. So he actually goes instead for another Psychic, and that's not going to do me much either. My Electivire is taking down. Most of my team is getting wiped left and right from this guy. This guy is just too much. I praise him and his team because his team is actually pretty good. I go in and now into my Greninja. I need to do something. I need to damage it with anything. I go into my Dark Pulse since I only have an attack capable of dishing out a lot of damage, and the Dark Pulse does some pretty good damage. I'm pretty impressed with that. And now he sets up the Light Screen, which means the torture is going to happen all over again. I don't like this one bit. He makes a switch, and that switch, I don't know if it's going to help. He now sends in Waivas, Blissey, annoying, just annoying. And I'm able to get like Stealth Rock and Spike damage, so at least that's a relief. So I go in now for a Dark Pulse, and the Dark Pulse doesn't do much. So I have to switch out before I end up suffering worse. So I go into my Arcanine, a Pokemon that has never let me down. Sadly, however, it's going to end up letting me down with what's happening here. Without my Chansey to save me, he ends up going for a Toxic, and now it's a race against the clock. So I need to strike a lot of damage to it, anything, just to like take it down. And he actually switches because he predicts that I may end up doing something like a Flare Blitz. And he sends in Floppy, the Azumarill, and I actually instead go for the Close Combat. Though he does suffer damage from Stealth Rocks and Spikes, I go for the Flare Blitz, and I'm thinking, please, dear God, take it down. Please take it down. And I'm happy I'm able to take down one of his Pokemon. I'm at least relieved with that. I'm happy that I was able to take it down. Thank God. This is turning out to be a very difficult battle, for me at least, because I'm up against somebody that actually is, like, smart. He actually was making pretty good moves left and right, and now he sends in his Mawile, which is a Mega Mawile, to be specific. It has Stealth Rock damage, suffers Spike damage, and he instead goes for a Sucker Punch. And the Sucker Punch basically signifies the end. It really does be the end for me, because for the rest of the match, he's just going to basically use Sucker Punch because all I have is relating to attacks. All these different attacks I have, all my Pokemon, the rest of the Pokemon that I have are just physically attacking moves. So he goes for a Sucker Punch, and that does, like, not so much. I go for the Surf because I need to dish out a lot of damage. I just want to take down that Mega Mawile before it ends up being trouble, and I don't kill it. I literally was pissed. I was angry. I was just pissed off. I didn't really want to save this battle because even though the battle wasn't in my favor, he won the whole thing, by the way. I give him kudos. And the last Pokemon I had was Alakazam, and my Alakazam, it really wasn't enough to save me. It was just wasted effort. I should have just, like clicked run, and that's it. I would have just folded the match, because this match was a disaster from the get-go. This guy makes Gavin 80001 seem like a pansy. I'm not kidding. This guy is just that good. He goes for the Sucker Punch. That's it. I've already said enough, and that literally beat the ever-living hell out of me. I lost the fight. I don't care. I enjoyed the battle for what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And if you did, please hit that like button. It does mean a lot. Make sure you check out his channel. He's currently doing a Let's Play of Kirby Triple Deluxe. I hope to face him again, except this time I hope the outcome would be at least a bit more different, because I didn't like how it ended. It just was a disaster. And today's question of the day is favorite entry hazard. I personally prefer Stealth Rocks because Stealth Rocks help dish out damage and helps predict with fire and flying types. Why do you think Talonflame suffers half health? Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.